Welcome to the Slumbering Isles. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I like it. It's a beautiful opening hand. We got Crucible of Worlds, we got Life from the Loam, we have a Deranged Hermit, so we can get some, if you're a fan of squirrels, Deranged Hermit really enjoys some squirrels. You can see all the squirrels in the card art right there, so we can get some really good squirrels going today, and we'll win the game. You get 5 squirrels, you win the game. Well, actually 4. I don't know why. I just made that up. Do we want to put down Memorial? Have that come into play tapped? Yeah, that's fine. Let's get down Memorial. It's going to come into play tapped. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn. Yeah, I haven't been recording that long, so I don't know why. Typically when I'm goofy like that, it's towards the end of a longer recording session. We're only about 45 minutes in, but it is what it is. We are playing the Slumbering Isle. Enters the battlefield tapped. Enters with 5 slumber counters on it. Oh, yeah. This is going to be fun. I'm excited to play against some Magic After Dark, and I love playing Howling Mind Magic. It is really fun. Okay, so we draw into extra land. Let's go for Command Tower. Actually, we'll go for Catacombs. I think that would definitely be better. Yeah, let's go Catacombs. And we want to ramp. One of the ways to kind of beat Nekusar is to beat them, use your resources quicker than they can. And one of the ways we can do that is by getting ahead on mana a lot quicker than they can. So let's go for 3 visits. And then that way we can go for Slumbering Isle next turn. Let's grab that Breeding Pool. And then nothing for 1, no. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. But yes, we're playing the Slumbering Isle. Enters the battlefield with 5 slumber counters on it. And then as we cast spells, we get to remove a counter from it. And then we get to tap for 2 mana because it becomes a land. If we need to turn it into a 12/12, we certainly can. But for the most part, we're going to keep it a nice little island at this point right now. Be some good mana for us. And then we draw into Preordain. We'll draw an additional card, Nissa. So at this point right now, we go for Command Tower. That's going to put us at Preordain. We go for Nissa. And that's going to go into our hand. I really want to get to the point where we're going to leave up Arcane Denial for Nekusar. That's exactly what we need to watch out for. So let's do this. Let's go for Command Tower. Let's go for Life from the Loam on Catacombs. There we go. Bring that back to our hand, and then anything else. No, we're going to go and pass the turn. At this point, we'll probably just go and dump Rogue's Passage. I can't really see us needing it that bad. So we'll go and dump that in the graveyard. And plus, we can still get down Crucible of Worlds. So we're playing against Nekusar, the official co-host of Magic After Dark, except he's on the stage, and we're in the audience. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Then whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar deals 1 damage to that player. And it's normally pronounced Nekusar, but I've called it Nekusar since I got into Magic, and it sounds weird to me to pronounce it the other way. So, it's Nekusar. That's what we're going for. At this point right now, we're going to leave up Arcane Denial mana to stop Nekusar, because we need to make sure that he does not stick around on the battlefield. Let's go and dredge Life from the Loam. That way we can get some, we hit Stroke of Genius. That's always a nice card to have. But we've got Howling Mine on the battlefield, so we can survive. Opponent's going to go for Notion Thief. Well, that's definitely going to get Arcane Denial out of our hands. And, yeah, that's something we definitely don't want to stick around on the battlefield. All right, so we're going to counter Notion Thief. And we draw into Pool from Tomorrow. Let's go for Catacombs. Let's crack Catacombs, and let's go and grab an additional forest. Let's go for Life from the Loam to bring back Catacombs and Island. And we're going to bring back Rogue's Passage. We're going to have to dump some cards into the graveyard anyway, so we're just going to bring them back. Let's go for Preordain. That'll give us a few extra cards to chunk if we need to. Let's put both of these on the bottom for right now, because Sad Robot is not exactly what we're going to be doing. And then we draw into Wayward Sawtooth. Okay, anything else? No. Let's go and kick it back over there. We'll dump 2 more cards in the graveyard. Let's get rid of Nissa, and we'll get rid of Rogue's Passage. All right, there we go. So we're going to end up with an extra card draw. Let's make sure we draw our card first, and then we'll see if Nekusar is going to come down. Dark Depths, okay. Now, if we do run into Thespian Stage, we definitely do have it in here, and that allows us to get a Merit Lage token on the battlefield. But at this point right now, I don't think that's going to really help us win the game. But one of my favorite ways of Magic is playing Howling Mind Magic. When I first got into Magic, and if you've watch any of my videos in the past, you've probably heard this story, but I always like to tell them for new subscribers. But with Howling Mind, I put it, when I first got into Magic, I put 4 copies of it in every single deck that I built, just because I love drawing extra cards. As you can tell, I've got, I've pretty much stayed on theme with that. I've got Dark Confidant as my avatar, but I love playing Howling Mind Magic. It always reminds me when I first got into Magic, and especially the white border version of Howling Mind. I had like 4 copies of that, because that was like, it was like 5 cents cheaper to get the white border version versus the black border version. And back then, I was working on a very tight budget of like, and I think it was like $5 a month or something like that, which is kind of funny to think about that particular. Oh, that was pretty bad. Do we want to go for life from the, yeah, we're going to go for life from the loam. That one kind of rebound. Now look at all these triggers. All right, so now the good thing is we do have Snapcaster Mage. That's going to be, put us all the way down to 13. Oh no. So we need to find some sort of way to deal with Nekusar. One of the ways that we can deal with that is by going for Rite of Replication. I think that sounds pretty good. Hopefully if we survive next turn, if they have some sort of wheel effect, that'll definitely stop us. All right, it's going to put us down. It's going to put us down to 10. Okay, so at this point right now, we can go for Rite of Replication on Nekusar, or we can leave up Snapcaster Disallow, which is basically just going to buy us a turn, which is not something I'm really that excited about. Yeah, let's go for Nekusar. It's always fun, and I always get a kick out of this whenever our opponent, if I'm playing Nekusar and our opponent does that, it always ends up being kind of fun. Let's get down 4. Probably not going to squeeze this one out, but well, let's at least have some fun while we're doing it. We'll get rid of, at this point right now, I kind of do like Boundless Realms if we survive for some reason. Let's go and get rid of Memorial, and we'll get rid of Life from Loam. That way we can dredge if we want to. Now that still puts us on for Anticipate and going for Snapcaster if we need to get a creature down for some sort of reason. But at least going for some sort of wheel effect. And let me see, so if it is, either way, we're down on life total, but with our opponent being the active player and us being the non-active player, our Nekusar triggers will go on the stack first. So one of the easier ways to kind of remember that is called AppNap, and that's basically what I just described, is that the active player triggers go on the stack first. Oh, there we are. I was clicking on the wrong triggers. The active player's triggers go on the stack first, as you can tell, Mana Vault, Nekusar, and then Howling Mine. And then we're the non-active player, or NAP. Our triggers go on the stack second. And then shout out to the guy at my first local gaming store that explained that to me a very, very long time ago. And I've always remembered it. I'm talking about it in one of my videos. Let's go and Oziel to Nekusar. And we're going to be chipping away at their life total, but more than likely, they're going to be able to get it quicker than we can. We might survive. They're going to get a little extra damage from that Mana Vault, and we can dig a little bit deeper with Anticipate. Now, the good thing with Anticipate in this particular matchup is that we can look at the top 3 cards of our library. That's not technically going to be a card draw, so it's still going to allow us to get some sort of card filtering with Anticipate. So we'll see what they do have for the turn, but typically when you're building Nekusar, you have a ton of wheel effects at 3 mana, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they've got 7 mana, so I'm sure we've got something in store. Now, they probably are a little bit worried about some sort of counter magic. At least I would if you see Disallow in the graveyard, and then you saw Arcane Denial earlier. But they don't know that that's pretty much the only counter spells that we do have. So I'm just going to go for Windfall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then we're going to go for Anticipate. Either way, yeah, that's fine. Okay. We don't want to dredge. I don't think we want to dredge Life from the Loam. Oh, look at that. We're just hitting a ton of forest. That is not good. We do hit Mystical Tutor, though. And so we'll get all of our triggers on the stack, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there's not another one. It's going to Oziel to that. It's going to put us down to 3. It's going to put us at card draw. It's going to put us at Nekusar. Yeah, because the beginning of each player's upkeep. Yeah, I think our opponent's going to get it on this one. Each player. Oh, man, the fact that it's exactly enough. Good game to our opponent. Nice. That's pretty good. I always like it when you have Exactsies, because a lot of the times when you're playing Nekusar, you're trying to do the exact math in your head. So we'll at least get the 2 damage on the stack. That's going to put them down to 15, but that's going to put us down to 0, and our opponent will get it on this one. So good game to our opponent. I don't think I ever finished my statement earlier. One of the ways that you can beat Nekusar is by keeping Nekusar off the battlefield or ramping quicker than they can. So unfortunately, with our opponent going for this Notion Thief, we had to burn our counterspell because that's going to put a one-sided card advantage on their side of the battlefield. We don't have a way to deal with Notion Thief. So that burned our counterspell, and so that was really good sequencing by our opponent. Once they got down Nekusar, got the wheel effects going, it was pretty much just game over because we had no way to deal with Nekusar, but at least we got our own copy on the battlefield. And but opponent's going to get on this one. So good game to our opponent. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to the Slumbering Isles. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I like this. We're going to keep on this one. I'd like to have a little bit more ramp, but I'd love Sylvan Awakening. This is easily one of my new favorite cards that has come out recently. Let's go and actually... Maybe we get lucky and we can save these fetch lands. So let's go and lead off with Forest, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing the Slumbering Isle. Hope you're excited. Sound the official Simec alarms, whoever the official Simec alarm sounder person is. And that's going to be all of you watching this video, if you don't mind. We're playing the Slumbering Isle. It's going to enter the battlefield with 5 slumber counters on it. Then, whenever you cast a spell, you may remove a slumber counter from it, and then tap for 2 active mana. Active. I don't know why I said active. Tap for 2 mana. Sometimes my brain just throws words in there for some reason. I guess, that's what I was trying to say. It's not an active creature, while it is a land. So, but it's really nice building a deck that's basically just kind of like an Ancient Tomb or a Sky Shroud Claim off to the side. So this is definitely a Simec ramp deck. So, and I have played this deck before once. I played this on the Commander, the EDH Land Commander 18. So if you want to check that video out after this video, highly recommend it. Check it out. It was a fun video to record. Let's get down Harbor, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. We're playing against Niv Mizzet, so this hopefully should be a really fun match. I'm got my fingers crossed. This spell can't be countered, Niv Mizzet flying. Then whenever you draw a card, Niv does 1 damage to any target. Then whenever a player casts an instant or a sorcery, you draw a card. And let's see if we hit another land. Draw the Spore Mound. Let's go and get down Island, and let's go and go for Trigon Predator. I love this card. And actually, this is going to put us on for some of the new Ravnica spoilers. There's a lot of really cool spoilers that have come out that are some very, very unique creature types. Like there's a Jelly Hydra Beast. There's some other things, and I kind of wish that this would have been. I wish this card had this classification. It probably would have been like a Mantis Wolf Beast. There's something, I don't know what that is. Anyway, it's not on the battlefield anymore. Our opponent went for Lightning Bolt, so that's definitely going to take care of the Predator. And we're going to look at a quick 7 from our opponent's Fiend out there. So that was that's pretty quick work by our opponent. Now, we do have 2 things that care about lands entering the battlefield. We have Spore Mound, and we have Zendikar's Royal. So fingers crossed we keep hitting a few more lands. That doesn't force us to get down these fetch lands, and we'll hopefully be able to build up some sort of board state. But if we have to get it down, we'll get it down, and we'll go for our commander, and that'll put us on 3 visits. Okay, put a force on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Let's see. So we go for Polluted Delta. Yeah, actually, I kind of like going for this. So let's go and get down Windswept Heath. Let's crack Windswept Heath. Let's go and grab a Tropical Island. We'll get down Island, go for our commander. That'll put us on for Zendikar's Royal for next turn. And that'll put us on Fetch Land, and then hopefully going for 3 visits too. So let's get down Tropical Island. Let's go for the Slumbering Isle. And this is, I love it. And now as far as this deck goes, if this is the first video you've clicked on or you didn't see my Commander 18 video, this is pretty much just a Simec ramp deck. We're trying to get as much ramp going as possible. We have a really nice land creature base too. We have Azusa, Lost But Seeking, and we have Oracle in here to make a few extra land drops. And we also have Primetime in here and Prophet of Krufix. And just as a quick reminder, I'm recording in the 1 versus 1 Commander format. So if you see Primetime, if you see Prime's ugly head during this video, or you see Prophet of Krufix, they are unbanned in 1 versus 1 Commander. Long story short, this is the same Commander that you play at your local gaming store in Paper Magic, but there's just like a few cards here and there that are banned or unbanned, which is just, I don't know, it's kind of weird sometimes, but that's just kind of how it is. So, I think Sylvan Library, that one is banned for 1 versus 1 Commander, but you can have access to Primetime. So I'll kind of get into that here in a second if we have some time as to at least my thought process on that. Let's go for... So we end up going... Actually, we want to get some 2/2s quicker than we need some 1/1s. So let's go for Zendikar's Royal. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and it is so nice just having an Ancient Tomb off to the side. All right, so we're going to remove a Slumbering counter. Now, depending on what sort of board state our opponent does get developed, we're going to remove these counters, but for the most part, you can just, it is a May ability on these counters, so you can basically just kind of park it and then just leave it at 1 until you need a 12/12 to kind of come out of the water. Let's go and crack Polluted Delta. And another good thing about not getting down Spore Mound is that our opponent, you know, they did already burn Lightning Bolt, but at least at this point we can, do we want to shock in Breeding Pool? We don't need to do that. That might make a difference, especially against Niv Mizzet. This can be another 2/2 elemental. We'll go for 3 visits, and we'll grab Breeding Pool off of this 3 visits. That'll definitely be a better thing for us to go for. But yeah, it's perfectly fine just to simply leave the slumber counters down at 1. That we have access to that extra ramp. So let's go for 3 visits. Let's grab Breeding Pool. Not going to pay 2 life. That'll be an additional 2/2 elemental. And then, anything else? No. Pass turn to our opponent. So we do have at least 6 points of elemental damage. We do have Sylvan Awakening in our opening hand too. So that's going to be 2, 4, 6. And that'll be kind of interesting because we'll be able to turn the Slumbering Isle. I guess it'll technically be like his tail coming out of the water, but that'll at least put us on for a 2, 4, 6, 8, and that'll be 10. That'll be 14 points of damage if we end up going for Sylvan Awakening. I had a little bit of a hiccup right there. All right, Poto's going to scoop it up on this one. We weren't going to win the game, so I may end up kind of splicing this video onto the back end of another video, but this is pretty much what we want to get going. You get down these elementals, get down Zendikar's Royal, and simply just start making a ton of land drops and getting down a ton of creatures, and just really kind of using your ramp to your own advantage. You know, simply being able to get an extra creature off a land drop is a wonderful effect for a commander, and you can see how potent it was. We got Niv Mizzet to scoop up on this one. So I will take that. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.